You ever feel like the childlike wonder of opening packs full of random cards and sticking your favorites into a deck has been sucked out of the game? Decks today are all about optimizing hand trap ratios and playing the most optimal strategies possible, but where's the fun in that? In this series, we're trying to get to the highest rank in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, Master 1, by only opening Master Packs after every single win. But since we have already reached Diamond, we have entered Master Mode. Now we take 2 Master Packs after every single win. Credit to Cimo and Hausman for inventing. Playing Master Duel Masochist makes me feel like I'm playing a totally new game. But do you know what else can make you feel like you're playing a totally new game?
Are you ready to take your Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel play experience to a new level? The Untapped GG Companion is here for you. Use the deck tracker to know exactly what cards you have in your deck, and to go over any cards you aren't familiar with yet by hovering over them. It instantly updates when you draw a card, and automatically hides if you check your extra deck or graveyard. This is the perfect tool to help you master a new deck. The Untapped GG Companion also lets you import decks directly into the game in seconds. Copy any YDK or YDKE deck string, create a new deck in-game, click the Start Auto Import button, and let us take the wheel. Once the duel is over, check your win rate on your personal stats page. Brag among your friends and share your decks so they can import them into the game too. Start your path to master today by downloading the Untapped GG Companion at ygom.untapped.gg.
Alright, what's up guys? We are back with another episode. Today is kind of a little bit of a flashback episode. One of our oldest decks ever, and you can see it way at the bottom here, was our Earth Warrior Turbo. And we played this deck super duper long ago. Like, we played this deck, had to be over a year ago. This was like kind of incredible, but this is the deck that we were playing. As you can see, we just used Earth Warriors and like generically good stuff that we had at the time to try to get to rank 4s. And this deck is actually making a comeback. I'm actually refined it a lot, and I created an Earth Warrior Turbo deck. We did pull Isold, and then I was like, there's got to be a way for us to actually utilize Isold and do something with it. And I tried to do that here. We're playing Isold, we're playing Adhara, we're playing Attack Gainer, which basically you can summon for free if I sold from the deck. But we're basically, these are a bunch of Earth Warriors. We've got some interesting stuff in here. We've got like Marauding Captain, Puppet Pawn. I'm trying the Puppet Engine for the first time, or the Pawn Engine. This is like, they're a bunch of like chess pieces, but they're basically Earth Warrior monsters. We got stuff like Junk Forward. What else that's kind of interesting here? This guy's just kind of an Earth Warrior that's decent, so I threw him in because he might come up once in a while. We've got Gatos here. He's, if you control Earth Warrior, special summon him for free. Cool. Then we also got Colonel on C-String. He also summons 2 warriors when he normal summons himself, so he's like a Marauding Captain on steroids. Then we've got Bestial Magnum, obviously just another hand trap. Immortal Phoenix Gearfried is basically the card we're searching for free off of the Isold. So we summon Isold, search this for free as a follow-up, and then we use the other effect of Isold to summon out Attack Gainer and potentially make like a Naturia Beast or something like that. And then we have just a bunch of generic stuff for the equips. And these decks are actually kind of complicated to make because you really have to consider so many things. You have to consider the warrior monsters you're using, the type of warrior monsters you're using. You have to consider like the equips that you're using, which in this case, because this deck is a little more generic, I've picked Horn of the Unicorn. This is Monster Reborn from your opponent's graveyard. We all know Moon Mirror Shield and Power of the Guardians. Again, we all know this. And then of course I did throw in the Galaxy Engine. I know there's like a lot going on in here, but I'd rather start with like a big net and then try to catch something. So I'd rather kind of like adjust the deck as needed as we play. I would prefer to do it that way because honestly, if something comes up and it sucks, I'll just change the deck. It's no big deal. Also, like I said, this is kind of interesting too. Target a level 3 or lower Earth Warrior monster, send it to the grave, special summon level 4 higher Earth Warrior monster from your deck. Like, it's kind of cool. And then we'll see how that goes. This whole Earth Engine, like I said, is like, it's iffy. So I made that one, and then I also made Fire Warrior Turbo, which this one is completely unrefined. I haven't even tried it yet. As you can see here, there's a lot going on here. I still have to take out a ton of cards, and maybe if the other deck is underperforming, then I will remove some cards and try to play it. I just feel like the other deck has like a lot of free special summons, whereas this deck just has a lot of normal summons, plus the Noble Knights themselves. I don't know a ton about Noble Knights, I'm not going to lie to you. And there's a lot of like equips and stuff like that that I just simply don't know. We have this, but we don't have this, and we're like missing certain small things that can make this a little bit better. So I gotta really get to it. So I have to actually learn the Noble Knights in order to play. But we do have a lot of stuff because I ran through it. We have like this Courageous Girl, we have the Renauds, we have 2 Renauds, we have the Squeak Knight, we have the Fire Lady wherever she is. Yeah, we have Fire Flint Late. Like, we have a lot of cards that are very good for this deck. We just kind of have to refine it. Also, we have this card in both decks. This is basically Monster Reborn for Earth monsters, for warrior monsters. It negates their effects, but that doesn't matter because we're just using it for link material anyway. But yeah, we actually have a lot of interesting stuff. This one, like I said, if the other deck is just not working whatsoever, then I'll refine this over the course of the episode. But I think the Earth Warrior deck we'll start with first. Okay, so we're in Gold 1, so we have a little bit of time for fun, and then we get to Platinum 5, which there's also some fun to be had in Platinum 5, but once we get to the higher rankings, it becomes difficult. Also, we are on a 7-game winning streak. We were just playing Marincess last episode. As you can see here, we have been absolutely frying our opponents with Marincess, which is it's pretty normal for Marincess in Gold. It can do that, so we'll see what we can do. All right, so we just won the coin flip. I apologize for any misplays I may have. I am making this stuff up as I go along, so this is a kind of an issue with Colonel C. He has to summon 2 monsters, especially summon 2 level 4 or lower monsters. It has to be different names. It has to be 2 monsters. It's kind of the drawback of this card. It's Marauding Captain, but it must be 2. It's not up to 2. So in this case, we draw 1, so it's kind of bad for us. Also, we drew, yeah, this target a level 3 or lower, send it to the graveyard. Yeah, this is already a problem. When you normal summon, change it to defense, send 1 Earth Warrior. I guess this is the play that we have. So we'll normal summon this, activate the effect, send something to graveyard. And it can send any Earth Warrior, but I don't know if there's any Earth Warrior that's really worth sending. Except for this, I guess. Banish this card, add an Earth Warrior from your deck to your hand, except Puppet Pawn, then your opponent. Okay. So I guess we have to do that. So we'll send that. We can banish this to add an Earth Warrior. Actually, I think we may have saved ourselves a little bit. So we'll banish that. And we'll something that's a free summon. We can add Gatos, which will make us a rank 4, but we can also add Junk Forward, which will get us to, never mind, we can't add that. Gatos it is. We'll add Gatos for free. Our opponent can add a card too. This is a little dangerous. Yeah, because your opponent can add a monster from their deck to their hand. Obviously, that is like, there's so many cards that they can add. That can be a little bit dangerous, but again, I'm willing to try new things. So I want to try new decks. I want to see how they go. Even if it's not the greatest thing in the world. They're going to add a, damn, what is that? They've got a Mimighoul. Okay. So we're playing against Mimighouls. That can get annoying. If an Earth Warrior monster is normal summon. Never mind. I shouldn't have added this. Okay, what should I have added? I gotta find out. There's got to be a free summon. You know what? I gotta, there's got to be an Earth. There's got to be a card I should have summoned there. Okay, well, it is what it is. We're just going to set and pass. Not the best. Not the best situation ever, but we'll figure it out. I think I have to reduce some stuff from the deck. I might cut this Puppet Engine, but again, my Earth Warrior stuff was so limited that it's not like I had like a ton of stuff. Maybe the best thing to do is just to replace it with some more generic kind of warrior stuff. Like I'm really playing the Earth Warrior stuff because Gatos is an Earth Warrior. The Puppet Rook and Puppet Pawn are Earth Warrior related, but I could probably cut them and play something a little bit better than them. Our opponent is playing Crystron Mimighoul. Either that or it's a bot. Okay, and never mind, maybe it is Crystron because they're playing Machine plus Crystron cards. We'll see in a moment here. But I'm actually completely tribute 2 monsters from your hand, especially when we'll ever hire Dinosaur. Sheesh. I'm actually okay with it being a bot right now because I'm testing this deck. If it's a bot, we can find out if these decks have synergies. That's perfectly fine with me. The games that suck when it's a bot is when we have like a hyper competitive deck that's really good and we're like excited to play it, and then our opponent's just a bot. And we draw like this fire amazing hand, like we're super excited, we're like, oh my god, this hand is amazing, I can't wait to play. And then you get in the game and it's a bot. That's when it's just depressing. It really is. But in these situations, it's not even that depressing because it's like we're literally testing the deck anyway. So, okay, let's see what this does. Okay, so they summon a monster. It's actually kind of big. This actually isn't bad. I think we have the tribute 2 monsters, special summon a dinosaur. With higher attack than the tributed monsters. Then he's locked out of the extra deck from except dinosaurs, sea serpents, worms, sorry, whatever. And then this is what he summoned. Now he's tributing that to summon a Crystron Sulf. Alright, it's whatever. I'll read some of these cards because they might come up later. If a monster you control is destroyed in your hand or destroyed by battle or card effect, you special summon this card from your hand. I'm going to send 2 Crystron cards. I don't have to worry about any of this because I can just steal his monster. And also we have the autonomous action unit, which is also kind of cool because it can like take our opponent's monster out of their graveyard. So we can like take a monster, plus we can take a monster again. So we're going to be able to steal 2 monsters. Kind of cool. And then if we draw another warrior monster, we can summon the Colonel C dude. And then we can summon 2 monsters from our hand, which is kind of cool too. So we'll see how that goes. So I'm going to send 2 Crystron cards. Again, they're not actually playing Crystrons. They're just like, this is just a bot fucking around doing random stuff. But it is kind of interesting, nevertheless, to see a bot do stuff that is actually somewhat synergistic here. This is the most synergistic bot I've ever seen. They summon the Bayer Rock Dragon, which is not a dragon, it's a dinosaur. I mean, it's cool. That Bayer Rock Dragon is kind of interesting for dinosaurs. So we'll take this. I mean, we're definitely going to win this because it's a bot. And we have a somewhat constructed deck. And they have just a bunch of random things. And they don't particularly make plays. They just kind of activate things that are... Yeah, this is already bricking me, which is like kind of annoying. It really is, but it's fine. It's fine. We'll change this to attack mode. Colonel C. Colonel C's another one. He's another one that's under question. I could probably cut this engine and just put more good warriors in. That's probably the smart thing for me to do. Now that I think about it. This is if an Earth Warrior is normal summoned. This is also not an Earth Warrior, which is kind of annoying. I guess we'll activate this. We'll pay the 15. Summon out. I'll summon this out. And I'll summon him out in attack mode. His effects aren't negated or anything. Yeah, not negated in any way. And then this just has the extra special summon. I'm just going to normal summon him out, and I'm going to go Isold here, because I want to see what I can do with Isold. Got a Royal Rare Isold. I'm very excited for this. We have our Royal Rare Isold. And we're definitely going to be activating this effect. And we're going to be adding the Gearfried to hand for a cool follow-up. And then we can also activate the 2 Tails of Isold. We can send 1 or 3 cards. Summon a level 3, or we can summon the level 1 attack gainer dude. I want to summon a tag gainer, but I don't have any more special summons. Actually, you know what? I'll just summon a tag gainer. I'll send something. I'll send like Horn of the Unicorn, because I can banish that. It doesn't really matter. I'll summon a tag gainer. Yeah, right there. And then again, I can kind of like... This doesn't lock me into anything, which is kind of crazy. Because I can just like link climb with... I haven't been locked into anything. I can make a Boral Sword. I mean, yeah, I can't. Can't I win right now? I think I can, actually. So let's go this. Yes, this. I was going to stretch this out a little bit, but screw it. No need. So let's summon Boral Sword. I think I can win this duel. Yeah, I think that's game. So we go to battle phase. Yeah, it's game. So we just attack. I haven't made Boral Sword in a really long time, too, which is kind of funny. I haven't made him in forever. Yeah, already, like, this is some cool stuff. Obviously, this promotion stuff kind of bricked this a little bit. But I thought it was, like, overall, I think there's some cool synergies in there. I could probably cut that stuff. I want to let's just try it a little bit, not against a bot, or, like, maybe a weaker opponent, or maybe another bot, but just, like, we'll see if that actually bricks us. This card is a card you're supposed to search. We just we just kind of drew it, but I'll see. Maybe I'll just replace it with generic stuff or more warriors, but I think it could be decent. Alright, let's open up a master pack and hopefully get something cool here. I've got no glow, no problem. I need a bunch of commons right now. No problem at all. No problem at all. I guess it is glowing. We got a Pearly card I can't use. Blooming is a decent card. I think special summon rose tokens up to the number of field spells and field zones. Spells in this graveyard. Yeah, if you play a lot of field spells, you can summon a ton of tokens. It just depends on what deck you're playing. Kyoto Waterfront, Temperance, can't use that. Molten, Genix Alley Remote once per turn. Target 1 tuner. Nope, not usable for me. This is actually really good. I just realized I should be playing this in my warrior deck. Totally forgot about it. Got to be playing it in the warrior deck. Good thing I pulled it, actually, because that totally reminded me that I need to be playing it. And then we pulled the Amphibious, the Swarm, Amblo Whale. I I don't think I have a use for this, honestly. Unless I lock myself into fires, I don't think I don't have the Promethean. I don't have really a reason to play this. But expendable die, I actually do have a reason to play. All right, so let's add those. We actually just pulled our third copy of the expendable die. You know what? I will play it. I will play it. I'm taking out this promotion thing. I don't actually like it. I thought it was going to be cool on paper, but it's actually not as good as I thought it was going to be. So I'm just going to remove those. I'm going to play another Photon Thrasher. I'm probably going to take out... I kind of want to remove the... I kind of want to... You know what I'll do? I'll remove... I think I'll remove... I'll keep these two. I think I might remove one of them. I think that's what I do. This card's not really that great either. I'm only playing it really just because I needed more Earth Warriors that summon themselves for free. I just needed it for that purpose, so... I might remove that. I might remove... Bestial Magnum is kind of good in this meta game right now, but I do want to play... You know what? Let's cut things down a little bit. This card's normal summon. This one sends. This is the starter. This one is not the starter. So we'll cut that down by 1. You summon this. You send this. You search. I think that's the way to do it. And... but the problem is this one... Yeah, the promotion's gone. I don't think I need to be playing that. You know what? We'll just play 41 cards. I'm not... I might even cut... Like I said, I might cut this entire engine completely and just replace them with better generic warriors. But for now... I think it's fine. Let's just, we can also, I actually like this card too. Expendable Eye, it's not once per turn. We'll save this right now and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so we just won the coin flip. We drew this. We shouldn't have drawn that, but it's cool. We got some stuff here. We have at least, we have some decent stuff. We have some decent plays. So we'll special summon that. We'll normal summon this, and then we'll be able to summon Gatos for free. Does Gatos miss timing, please? If an Earth Warrior monster is normal summoned. Okay, he does not miss timing. We'll activate this. And then we'll also activate the Gatos to chain... I guess it technically chain blocks against Ash, but I mean, we don't particularly need to, but whatever. And it technically is a chain block. We'll do that. We'll send the Rook, right? Yeah, I'll send the Rook. No, we need Pawn. We got to send Pawn to the graveyard. We don't want to use that because that can let him add any monster. That's a little dangerous. So I won't be using that. But it's fine because I will be using I Sold. I would need to keep an Earth Warrior on the field. Yes, we got to do that plus that. And these two. The Noble Knight card. Yep, we're going to activate to search. Hopefully they do not have an imperm because things are kind of going well right now. What do we want to search here? What follow-up is decent? What's in our hand? We've got the Immortal Phoenix. Okay. I think the... What is good to search here? Who's the most versatile here? Gatos isn't bad. This is pretty decent, but it relies on a variety of things. I think we just search the Goblinberg. Goblinberg is a decent follow-up because we already have... Normally we'd be searching this, but... In this case, we're not. And we're going to activate this. Send 1 card. Send 1 card to the graveyard. We'll send Horn of the Unicorn because the other ones we kind of want to draw. Yep, summon Attack Gainer. And then we will special summon Naturia Beast. Awesome. Well, that's pretty cool. We summoned a Naturia Beast. Not too shabby if you ask me. Yeah, not too shabby. Summon a Naturia Beast. I don't know what that just did. So when used as a synchro material, you can make an opponent's monster lose 1,000 attack. Banish one and special summon this card from your hand. Oh, I can summon this. Oh, this isn't bad. I don't have any equip spells right now, but that's actually not bad. I'm just going to save this guy as a follow-up because he has good effects when he attacks, but he does nothing. So if our opponent has like some sort of destruction, it's just like he just kind of is sitting duck right now. So I just save him in hand. I thought it couldn't special summon him. That's actually kind of interesting. Cannot normal summon or set or special summon monsters with that name, nor activate their effects. Oh, I didn't search him. Right, I didn't search him. I special summoned him. I mean, I opened him. I didn't even search him. No, I'll just leave him though. I don't think there's a point for me to do that. Also, I don't want to activate this effect until I need to, so I'll just go to end phase. There's no point to special summon this card right now because again, it's just banish and equip from your field or graveyard. Special summon this card from your hand. There's no point for me to special summon this card right now because if they do have some sort of removal, I just lose it. If they like Kaiju or I guess Raigeki, they really can't use because of Naturia Beast, but We've got some decent bases covered here. We have Naturia Beast to negate all spells, which is pretty nice. And then we have Forbidden Droplets to negate a monster effect. So it's pretty cool, actually. So the only thing that if they have Imperm, okay, they got us. I mean, they got us. If they have Imperm, they have it. They cooked us. But if they don't have Imperm, well, then we have some cool plays. They're playing Mimighouls. Interesting. Okay. They're playing Mimighouls. I have nothing right now. We special summon this. Okay. Yeah. There's a lot of effects on this card, and they're going to summon Master. Master is probably what I have to negate because it is a UR. Most likely, if this card is no, you can add a Mimighoul monster. Your deck to your hand during your opponent's turn. Quick effect. Something, something, something. Can I be destroyed by battle card effect? Okay, this is definitely something I should be negating, so I'll activate this. Honestly, I might be wrong here, but I think I have to negate this because confirm. I don't know the deck too well, and it seems like the right thing to negate. I'll be honest with you. I know that it's a UR. I know that it's probably the most expensive card in the archetype in real life. So just based on that, I'm going to negate it. I don't know if it's the right play. I have not played against this deck significantly enough. I think I played against it once. I beat it. They set up a board that I set up a board that they couldn't deal with, and they scooped. That's the extent to the knowledge that I have about this card and about this deck. So all I know is it's like kind of like a modern flip effect deck. Is going to activate that. Absolutely, absolutely. We are going to activate Naturia Beast to negate that. That is not sticking around here. No spell card is sticking around here, so we will be negating and destroying it. And if he activates any other spell cards, they're also not going to last on the field. Yep, he's going to link into Closed Moon. Well, you know how it is. When all else fails, go into the Fiendsmith route. And my Forbidden Droplets could not have stopped this anyway, because he doesn't have it. I guess it could have stopped Lacrima, but whatever. He's going to send that. Yep. We're going to be able to special summon him back. Kind of a crazy engine, but what can you do? Nothing, I suppose. He's going to gain some attack. He's going to make himself 22, which is 24, never mind. Well, that sucks for me. That sucks for me. Which, to be fair, my board wasn't particularly great. It was one Naturia Beast. And yeah, it was one Naturia Beast and a Ice Sold and a Forbidden Droplet. So to be fair, my board wasn't particularly amazing. I think this is actually kind of crazy that he's even going to give me a monster. This duel is pretty much over. There's not much that I can do here. I can summon Gearfried. Yeah, I can summon Gearfried, but honestly, this guy's kind of going off. He's got full combo. I don't think he technically normal summoned, but this Fiendsmith package absolutely destroyed me. It really did. The Fiendsmith package destroyed me, and then he's got the Mimighoul stuff. He actually made a pretty smart play. He activated the field spell, knowing I would negate it, so that he can get triple tactics down, which was really smart on his part. So, honestly, I'm not going to win this duel, and he's going to be comboing off for another 10 minutes, and I'd rather just go to another game. Okay, so we just won this coin flip. It's pretty decent, honestly. So we'll start by special summoning out Photon Thrasher for sure. This lets me summon a level 4 or lower monster, so I can summon Puppet Pawn. Cool. So we'll summon this out. We'll activate. Cool. We'll activate, summon the Pawn. I don't think there's any super relevant thing that we can do with that, but we can do is we still have a lot of plays here. We have a ton of plays. It's a pretty good hand, so we'll go with these two. We'll again try to set up the same situation. We'll try to set up Naturia Beast, because Naturia Beast is pretty good when they don't draw the out. It's going to affect Veiler. That's a really bad thing for us to have to go through there. That sucks for me. But it's fine. We can pivot out of this. We can definitely pivot out of this. Yeah, we can pivot out of it. I don't want to use this graveyard effect unless it's an absolute last resort. This pawn effect, it's as a follow-up, that effect's not bad, but as like an initial effect, that effect is actually kind of scary to even use. So we'll use this to special summon back from graveyard, right here, and then does this lock us? No, it just negates his effects. Cool, no problem then. And then from here, we can actually make Baguska. We're going to make Photon Lord. I think I'm just going to make Photon Lord because I already have a Photon on field anyway. So I'm just going to make Photon Lord and just kind of convert into that. And then we'll just activate this. Again, Baguska could have been the right decision here. But it's always, it is, you know, you never know what it's going to be. This guy's probably playing Blue Eyes, but I don't know. If he summons like Sage or something like if he normal summon Sage and I negate and oh yeah. If he like normal summon Sage and I like activate the effect to negate and destroy Sage, sometimes their turn legitimately ends. So it's sometimes the right decision. So we'll see. But also Baguska's kind of good against a lot of decks. Like honestly, I could have probably made Baguska in this situation. But sometimes you summon a Baguska and they're just playing like a Link deck and then it does nothing anyways. So that kind of sucks. They are playing Blue Eyes. It sucks that they're opening with this because this gives them so much more versatility. It honestly does. It gives them so much more versatility. But I think if they... Yeah, and they had the Blue Eyes. We'll see if they have a card that works with this. And unfortunately, they didn't even use their summon, which sucks for me too. I'm going to activate this. I am going to negate this because I don't want them to get the extra normal summon. So I am going to activate this effect to negate. And I am going to detach the Photon Galaxy Dragon so that this gets negated and destroyed. Now, of course, they do have their normal summon because they happen to be playing the special summon. So if they do have Sage or Maiden or something like that, they can Jet. They have to have a Jet. Yep, they're going to summon Jet. Jet is very rough for us to deal with. And they have Wishes, too. Chaos Max. Got a lot of funny stuff, I'm not going to lie. They have Chaos Max, they have Wishes. Well, Wishes is good, but they have, like... They open the Jet, they hard open the Jet. This is another duel, it's like... It's going to be tough for us to win, because every monster they have is 3,000 attack. And we do struggle, regardless of what deck we're playing with, we struggle putting big monsters on board. One day we do just need to play a bunch of big monsters. Like, big monsters, floodgates. Like, that might be our deck one day. Because we really do struggle putting big monsters onto the field. I think that's actually our going second trap deck, is big monsters and trap cards. But we do have, like, trap cards in it and, like, more stuff. Yeah, we have more than just, like, floodgates. We have a lot of other trap cards. So that might be the situation. Now, he made this, but he can use the second effect to special summon from Graveyard. Okay, realistically, I can't win this. I know I have Lightning Storm, so it seems I can win this, but this protects from Lightning Storm anyway. I mean, this guy would have to be an idiot and, like, link this away, and then I can win. But unless he links this away, then I pretty much lose, and honestly, this is pretty stupid. Like, there's not much left that I can do about this. Yeah, that one sucks. Alright, we won the coin flip, and the hand's looking pretty good again. Like, with a pretty good hand. So we'll special summon Photon Threat. Again, it's like a pretty good hand. It just depends on what they had. Pretty much the hand we just had in that Blue Eyes duel. So it just depends on if they can break our board with the Naturia Beast and all that. But it's pretty much a pretty decent hand. We'll go from here into definitely Ice Sold. We got to keep the Earth Warrior on the field. At least one of them. We'll leave that on the field. This is in defense, so we'll go here, and yep, 100%. We'll go add a monster for free. No reason not to. So we'll add Mr. Gearfried dude. Yep, we'll do that, and then we'll activate this effect for sure. We'll send one, which will be the Horn of the Unicorn. I wonder if there's a better card for me to send. I don't even know, but we'll send that. Some attack gainer. Summon that out. Special summon. Yep, we'll special summon the Naturia Beast out. We also could have made a rank 4, I guess, but there's no point to. Summon this. It'd be cool if we had an SP Little Knight too. That would be kind of cool, because then we could use the Heroic Call. We could use Heroic Call. They're just going to scoop anyway. It would be cool because we could use Heroic Call to, like, special summon back monster, and then make like an SP Little Knight right here, and then we have like SP plus that plus Ash. But one day we'll pull it, or something else. Okay, cool. We won that duel. It took a little while for that connection to like go through, but we won that duel. Yep, we got it. This is what our opponent's playing. They were a bot. It didn't matter anyway. I've never seen connection failed from a bot. Usually bots just lose, but yeah, we would have won this no matter what. This is what our Blue Eyes opponent was playing. I'm not gonna lie, I've not seen anybody play Dictator of D online, but honestly, it actually wasn't even that bad for the pure Blue Eyes build, especially since they hit these two. It actually is a pretty decent replacement. You could use Perry Reeves map, but honestly, for like a pure Blue Eyes deck in gold, this is really not even that bad. And it's actually kind of surprising that it's not that bad. It's actually kind of like an okay deck. Okay, let's open up a master pack. Let's see what we get here. Ah, it's glowing. The last one wasn't glowing and we got a holo. This one is glowing. May or may not have a holo. It does have a holo. Cool. That is a warrior. That is a fire. But we're not going to be using it. That is also a warrior. That is a fire. Never mind. It's a fiend. But we are not going to be using it anyway. That's not a warrior. That is a warrior, but we're not going to be using it. Virtual World. Evolite. Toonbuster Blader. Chaos Form. All repeats. Let's see what this is. We've got Dragoonity. Gaydur. This guy is actually... Gaydurge. This guy is actually really good in his own archetype. Like really, really good. He's a soft once per turn that adds a level 4 lower dragon or wing beast. So like he's a phenomenal card in his own archetype. He's just not any use for us, but he is very good in his own archetype. Okay, we just lost a coin flip. Our opponent's probably playing either Kashtira or Tearlament. If they're playing this, they're probably playing Kashtira or Tearlament. I'm not really sure which, but both of them suck in terms of like they suck to play against. They don't suck as in they're bad decks, but they're both annoying to play against. We're also in gold, so I'm not particularly excited to stick around for these kinds of duels. It just depends on what they're playing. They are playing Kashtira. As always, they open the Unicorn. They always open Unicorn. I've never seen a Kashtira player not open Unicorn. They always open it anyway. You can negate it, but it's pointless. Okay, they're playing Tearlaments too. And I do not have any interruptions. I have Forbidden Droplets. I don't know if I can really deal with what they're about to make here. Realistically, I don't think that I can deal with... This is the kind of thing, like, I want to play in gold to play against fun decks, and then people just play... This isn't particularly like a meta deck or anything. It's just not something we want to play against. Okay, so our opponent's going off here. I'm going to make the executive decision to fuck off. There's a lot going on here. This is kind of annoying. So... They've already got the Tearlament stuff. They're now doing Fiendsmith stuff. I am not beating this. I'm testing my deck. Like, I'm not... And I had a decent hand, but realistically I had one negate and one steal from our opponent's graveyard. I did not have enough to break my opponent's board, unfortunately, with that one. Okay, so we just lost this coin flip, and we drew Colonel C String. He's another one. He's like good but bad, this Colonel C String guy. Because you normal summon, you get 2 special summons. The problem is, if you don't draw 2 monsters, he's kind of trash. Laval, Lakeside Lady, End Phase. Okay, so this is probably another bot. This is kind of annoying because I'm actually looking to play against. I'm looking to play against not bots, but at the same time not meta decks. If that makes sense. I'm looking to play against decks that are somewhere in between bots and meta decks. So I'm looking to play like a bad Dark Magician player. I'm looking to play against somebody trying to make Fortune Ladies work. Like, I'm trying to play against those kinds of people, not bots / Tearlaments. Like, I'm not, this is just a little much. So we're going to summon the Colonel C. We did draw the other 2 warrior monsters. We do not want to Ghost over ourselves. That is not something that we want to do. And then we summon these 2. Does this negate its effects, by the way? Are they negated? They're not even negated. That's actually really good. Not that it matters because I wasn't planning on it, but that's not bad. We're going to go I Sold here. I Sold is pretty cool. I'm going to go I Sold here. And do I have enough to game? I think I actually do have enough to game him again. So we're going to activate I Sold. Yep. Search on Summon. Summon this. I think we might have enough for game, right? Or do we? No, we need an extra monster to game him. Send 1. Make a Nat Beast. We drew 1? Yeah, we drew 1, so we couldn't have done any more. We'll send Horror of the Unicorn. Yep. Nat Beast is coming out next. He's really cool too. Like I said, I can make Boral Sword, but I don't have the extra monster, and I don't have a way to special summon the extra monster, so Nat Beast it is. So we'll make that. I am happy that we are making Naturia Beast very consistently. That I like, because he's one of my favorite cards of all time. Now, he's totally unfair and shouldn't exist, but he's one of my favorite cards of all time. He actually should, like, he's so unfair once you get him onto the board. There's so many situations where, like, he's completely toxic card, but I do actually like the card itself, and it's good that he is locked behind, like, Earths and stuff like that, because if he wasn't, he'd be way too broken to be played in the game. So we'll set that, and we'll just go to end phase. I could steal that monster from my opponent's graveyard, but, like, what point is there to do that? I can't do anything with it. I can make, again, our Link 3 pool is really shallow, and we don't have SP Little Knight, so between not having those, like, bad Link 3s and SP Little Knight not being there, I just, in general, Link 3s I think are, like, the worst of all of them. That is absolutely insane that he has that. Dark Ruler no more. I don't know if this is a bot, but if this is a bot and they just had Dark Ruler no more, that's insane. Imagine they did Raigeki me now. That'd be crazy. Okay, so we're back to normal. Thank you. No, this is actually kind of crazy. Dark Ruler no more from a bot. If they had Dark Ruler no more plus... If they had Dark Ruler no more plus, like, Raigeki from a bot, that would have been actually kind of sickening to watch. But, it's whatever. They're gonna... I'm actually... Yeah, I was actually hoping to use this effect. I want to use this Immortal Phoenix. Again, we're like, I want to play a deck, and this is been kind of the problem with the Masochist Challenge in general, is that when you get, like, above silver tier, you run into one of two things. You run into either meta decks or meta contenders, like tier 3, tier 4 decks, or you're, like, not tier 3, like tier 2, tier 3 decks, or you're constantly running into bots. You don't play a lot of the boneheads that are in silver that are, like, really fun to play against and really fun to test against. Those are exclusive to bronze, silver, rookie. Like, those guys are great. I love playing against them. The people that just are like, that are just like, they're playing like spirits because they remember playing them as a kid. Like, those are the people that I want to play against, but I'm kind of stuck playing against meta heads. So we'll banish this, and then I don't get to test this stuff, because Immortal Phoenix would be a really cool, like, follow-up, like, awesome follow-up card, but I never really get to use him the way I want to. So we're going to activate this. I'm going to grab this because it's a level 4. Nope, we don't want to negate our own card. I have negated it for various reasons before, not anything, like, stupid, but, like, I have negated my own card in the past if I needed, like, cards in the graveyard. I was playing Lightsworns, I believe. I negated my own card once just because I wanted something in the graveyard. And then here, is there a point to do anything else? I mean, it's not really, but not really a point to do anything else. Nah, I want to keep this equip on the field, so we just go to battle phase here. Attack with this Immortal Phoenix. And then why not? We'll activate this effect. And we do not want to negate our own effect, but we'll just put this into the back row just to get it some extra attack. But it's kind of cool. Like I said, I wish I could really use some of these follow-up cards, but the problem is we either get blown out or, and this is kind of an issue with, like, it's a larger issue with, like, current Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that so many things are done in a turn that there is no follow-up. It's actually one of the reasons that, like, Marincess is one of those decks that we have that has a ton of follow-up, but our opponent will either scoop against us and then we win and then we don't get to use our follow-up, or they will just outright destroy our board and reduce our life points to 0, in which case we don't get to use the follow-up. So it's either one of those things happen usually, and then you don't get to actually utilize the follow-up that you have all of this set up for. It doesn't even really come up. Okay, we did play against the bot, but we still won. It's not my fault they're there. I didn't put those bots there. I didn't. And it's not my job to get them off the platform. It's the job of Konami. Venom Burn, Ancient Gear is terrible. You need multiple, so automatically it's no good. This card's no good for us. Mysterious Triangle. I can't really use that. This card's not bad. If you control a monster, normal summon this card without tributing. It is a warrior. It's a light. If this card's normal summon, banish from a monster your opponent controls with higher attack. That does not target. It's actually really good. And then you can discard a card, and then you can add stuff that Joey uses. So, like, a level 5 warrior would be like, what's it called? The Legendary Fisherman. Level 6 Machine would be Jinzo. Level 7 Dragon would be like Red Eyes. But basically a bunch of stuff that Joey uses. Artifacts Unleashed and Xian's Counselor. These Guilty is not bad, but the rest of this stuff's not that great. Also, again, this is one of those cards that, like, if I was making some kind of like a generic like floodgates slash big monsters deck, I would probably play something like this because it's a generically good card that could be good in an early Masochist run, but like we're so deep into it, we're not like, this is not beating a Cashtira deck. Like it's not something that we can use at our stage. All right, so we just won the coin flip. No, we lost a coin flip on our opponent. Chose for us to go first, which actually kind of sucks because look at this damn hand. We opened Eternal Galaxy, which sucks, and we also opened Lightning Storm. But it is what it is. I don't know what my opponent's playing. We could make a Baguska here. I think Baguska's pretty decent. We can make a Baguska, or we can make the Photon Galaxy. We have one negate. Well, I don't think it's enough. So, especially since our opponent chose to go second. I think Baguska's probably the better choice here. I'll make Baguska and I'll sit on it. If they out it, we have Lightning Storm because we only have one monster on field. If they out it, they out it. But if they don't, then we're good. But if they do, then it sucks. But we'll see what they're playing. No way to tell from just their profile, because everyone always uses Ray anyway. So just because they use Ray doesn't mean they are playing that. It doesn't mean they are playing Sky Strikers. So it could be Sky Strikers, but they chose for us to go first. So they could be playing Tenpai, in which case Baguska's pretty good against Tenpai. Assuming that they don't have the rest of this stuff. Okay, so that gets changed to defense, negated. Okay, awesome. Yep, it's going to get negated anyway. He can destroy it. Yeah. He hard open this card. Yeah, because they only play one copy usually. He hard open the Fire King Skyburn. So it kind of kills it for us. And then on top of that, our Lightning Storm's not going to do anything, and Eternal Galaxy's not going to do anything. I don't think there's much that I really could have done differently there. I mean, again, this is like one of those situations which, and now he plays kind of like a full meta deck. And the other thing that's kind of annoying is like all of this unnecessary protection on cards. So, and we've talked about this before, where it's like the Centurion cards, I'm like super annoyed playing against them because we'll open something like a Lightning Storm, but like every other card protects every other card, so you have to like out every individual card in a non-destruction manner, which is really annoying to try and do. And this is also like it's not equally as annoying, but like this protects the field spell, and then the field spell is protected, so it kind of like sucks for me. When a card would be destroyed by a card effect, you can destroy one fire monster in your hand face up on the field instead. So like if I try to destroy this field spell, you can just destroy something else, and then it sucks for me. He's going to attack with these two. So he's a monster negate here. This isn't doing anything. This isn't doing anything. And then he's got protection. He's got instant contact and Photon Thrasher. It sucks that I don't have certain cards in my deck here. I don't have... That's like insane too. Just adding back to hand every turn. We don't have what's his name, which kind of sucks for me. I guess we start off with Lightning Storm just because we kind of... It's just, I think, a good card to start. We don't have the card that lets us out boards. So we'll activate that, but he can protect it with the Fire Sanctuary if he wants to. Again, it's just... even if I try to destroy these two, yeah, he's going to destroy that. It's fine. Cool, sure. I'm going to destroy that, and then he could probably activate... Yep, activate that. Special summon it, search again. It's just a lot. There's a lot to deal with. There's a lot to deal with. Then he can... I think in the same chain... No, he has another Skyburn. Wow, he's playing multiple Skyburns. Okay, so we'll special summon this out. Yeah, we usually use Wonky Quartet to get us out of bad situations, but honestly, Wonky Quartet wouldn't even be great in this situation because all of these cards float. So me destroying his cards would actually help him. From here, realistically, I guess we could go I sold can summon a monster and then get us to a length 3, which doesn't matter. Also, he's got this, so it doesn't really matter. We could go Photon, attack over something, search, Photon Lord, Photon, yeah, make Photon Lord during our opponent's turn, 3000 defense, protected by card effect. I guess we do that. So we'll do these two. We don't want to search yet, especially since we have Eternal Galaxy in hand anyway. We definitely don't want to do that. Also, he's got the negate, so we'll just attack over Arvata. So that gets destroyed. He can float, I believe. This card's destroyed. Yep. And this guy floats into a graveyard effect, so I just summon this one out. He can destroy, and then... yeah, sure. Yep, he can summon Kieran or one of the others. Yep, he's going to summon out the Volcanics. Yeah, he's going to summon that out, and then... which is only an SR. Volcanics is only an SR. He's going to destroy Kieran. Yep, he's going to summon, destroy one card on the field, so my monster's pretty much gone here, so he's going to summon that. Yep, my monster's destroyed, and, I mean, obviously, there's nothing left for me to do here. That duel is over. There's nothing I can do. He has 5 monsters, and there's nothing left for me. Okay, this is what our opponent was playing. They were playing a pretty pure version of this deck. Now, I will say, I don't know if they're supposed to be playing 2 copies of this. I could have sworn they were playing 1. Sometimes I've seen people play 1. I've never seen anybody play more than 1, but you guys tell me if this is like the appropriate way to play it. Also, they're playing this dude, and they're also playing Barog, but Barog's a 1. I guess it is pure, so I guess that's why they're playing some of this like extra stuff. They're also not playing Pot of Extravagance, which is, I guess Pot of Extravagance is kind of iffy whether you play it, because it is, after all, a 1 of in Master Duel and a 3 of in the TCG, so I kind of understand why they're not playing Pot of Extravagance. But I mean, overall this looks like a pretty decent deck. I can imagine this guy getting to Master with this deck very easily. Alright, we just won the coin flip, and we do have expendable die and stuff like that, which is nice. We can make a rank 4 for sure, so we'll do that. We'll summon out the Photon Thrasher to start. The Blue Mountain Butter Spy can't be used because we haven't normal summoned a monster, so we can't actually use that. But we will use Instant Contact to special summon a monster. They could have Maxi, which would suck, but what can you do? If they have Maxi or Molcharmy or one of these other annoying cards, then I have to live with it. Nothing I can do about that. Yep, they're going to be able to summon the Neo Dolphin. Unfortunately, this Blue Mountain card, I didn't have any normal summons in that particular group of cards. Honestly, I think Baguska's pretty good. Baguska, Bestial Mag. We have Baguska, Bestial Magnum, or we have... I think they have an Imperm, but we could go Photon Dragon. We could go Photon Dragon with Expendable Die, Bestial Magnemite. I think we just go... yeah, it's either this, or this. We also have Isolde too, but I don't know what Isolde's really doing. I guess it lets us search, summon from deck. What is that summon from deck doing? Because I can't do anything else. I should be summoning from deck and getting a gear freed. Yeah, I think this is the play here. I think we go with these two. There we go. At least if I had Isolde, I could leave Expendable Die on field. I guess that would be the advantage, because it would be kind of live. Whereas it's not live right now. That's probably the reason to have used Isolde. And then we'll activate the Photon Dragon, detach, and hopefully be able to search. And they do have an Imperm, so maybe I should have gone Isolde. But sometimes you can't really tell. Sometimes they prompt that, and it just ends up being like, rather than an Imperm, it ends up being like a furniture it ends up being like furniture for Labyrinth or something like that. So you're like playing around an Imperm and they don't even have an Imperm. So sometimes that does actually happen more often than you would think, because there are random effects that do activate, even like not Imperm. Playing Kashtira, yep, which means the Bestial Magnum's dead. Never mind, they're playing Scareclaws, so the Bestial Magnum might not be dead. Okay, they're going to link 1 into the Light Heart. Yep. We've all seen this before. Add 1 primitive planet. Yep, you can add that, buddy. You can add that. Now, this deck is another deck that, I mean, this is not the most broken of the Visa Starfrost decks, but it's up there. It's up there in terms of Vanadium. They were all like meta relevant at one point, which is kind of cool. Because they had Tearlaments, you had Kashtira, you had Vanadium, and you had this. And there's probably one that I'm forgetting or missing, but I remember those are the 4 that I definitely remember. Yep, they're going to summon the Scareclaw, Acro, I mean. They're going to search that out. Yep, they're going to summon out that. And they make an SP Little Knight, which is not what I expect, okay. They're going to banish our poor Galaxy Photon Dragon, so he's gone forever. Can't get him back. And they're going to set a card. What a battle phase, okay. I'll be honest with you, this is not what I expected. Main phase, it's right, you can't attack with an SP Little Knight that you activated that effect on. That was a historic underperformance. We're going to go ahead and banish that to special summon. We're definitely going to attempt to search. This Blue Mountain Butter Spy is kind of clogging the lane right now. We just got to draw a warrior that we can normal summon, and then we can do something with this. But this adds nothing, but I guess we can... It's still better to activate that than not. Goblinberg. Okay, this cannot be normal summoned or set. Yeah, I guess we'll just go with this. No applicable effect for a Goblinberg. Yep, but we can activate the Blue Mountain Butter Spy. Summon that out for free. Now from here, we can go... We can attack first with Ice Sold. No, we can attack first and then activate Ice Sold second. We can do that. Or we can do that. Yeah, there's a lot of different cards that we can make here. We can make Time Thief. We can make... Time Thief's not bad here, but he can also come up and do nothing. Sometimes Time Thief does nothing, which is kind of the problem with Time Thief. I think we just enter battle phase and start attacking, and we'll just deal with this. We'll deal with this a little easier because we'll just attack over this SP Little Knight and not have to worry about it anymore. We'll just attack directly. Yep. And then we'll go main phase 2. Yeah, main phase 2 here. Make... Again, it's Ice Sold or Time Thief, or against this deck, it just kind of makes no sense to use... Yeah, this just doesn't make any sense against this particular matchup. So I think Ice Sold's probably the best because then I get follow-up and I get my unexpected die being live. So I think Ice Sold's the best. So we'll go with this plus this. They probably have Imperm or something, but it's fine if they do because, again, we're doing this so we have expendable die live. So we'll search on summon, assuming they will let us. They're going to ash that effect. That's fine. It's fine that they ash that effect. So we'll ash that effect. We'll activate the other effect. We'll send one, because we're going to send this just to have the attack gainer. Yeah, we're going to put this on board. The only reason I'm putting it on board is, again, for the expendable die, and then we'll just set this and pass. Just hit the end phase. And then our follow-up, we could have made like a Boral Sword here or something. We also could have, couldn't have made a Crusade Avermax. Oh, yeah, we could have made a Crusade Avermax, but he's not a warrior, he's a cyber. So if I made Crusade Avermax, I wouldn't have had expendable die live. And Crusade Avermax is good, but he's not like a be-all, end-all card. All right, he's going to normal summon this. I'm definitely going to on-summon, do something about this. Actually, ugh, damn it. So it's kind of annoying. Like this card, if I destroy this, actually I'll wait for him to activate the effect and then I'll activate to destroy this. But the thing is, you can just special summon this back for free with a Kashtira Birth anyway. So even if I destroy this card, never mind, he just scoops. Okay, well, I'll take it. I'll take it. Whatever, I'll take it. This guy made terrible plays the entire game, but I'll take it. And we rank up to Platinum 5, which is, on paper, the easiest, the easiest rank in the entire game. And we got this. Look what we got in the pack. We should celebrate somehow by going and opening our Master Pack. Okay, this is what our opponent's playing. They were playing Kashtira with Scareclaw, which looks about right. And 13-card extra deck, Access Code Talker Royal Rare, a lot of cool stuff. All right, let's crack open a Master Pack here. And cool, it's glowing. Again, it is glowing. We have been playing Super Rares all episode, but they have been a little underwhelming. Dark Chandler, Detonating Circle, another card we already have, Dragoon Legionnaire. Repeats aren't the end of the world as long as we start pulling cards that work with them. That's fine. This is, I guess, cool. Again, it stops a trap card, but of all the cards that you could possibly be missing in this particular deck, we are missing Driver, which is the lowest rarity card in the entire archetype, and a brick that no one ever wants to draw, but we are missing it. Magician's Navigation. What in the world is this? El Magi Mergi. Gains attack equal total link rating of link monsters in your graveyard. Okay. That could potentially be usable if we have like a Dogmatica punishment situation where we send a giant like Link 5, Link 6. Could be decent. During main phase, this card's in your hand. Tribute one Cyberse monster or Link monster special summons card from your hand. I don't know how useful that is, but I mean, this card's not actually that horrific under certain circumstances. Also, it's very new because I've never seen this card before. And let's see what this is. We've got a Super Perform Mage. I am starting to really hate Perform Pals and Perform Mages. There are so many of them. They have so much text, and every time we pull them, they just don't work for us. Target one Perform Mage XYZ monster you control. Attach this as material. Okay, from the Pendulum Scale. Interesting. If this card is added from your extra deck, you can add one Perform Mage Pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand. The card is added. Okay, maybe that works synergistically inside the archetype. If this card's in your hand, target one XE monster. Attach material. Make one, lose 600. Okay. If this card's detached, you can detach two. You can target two XE monsters you control. Attach one material from one of those cards to the other. This card is like moving shit around, attaching, detaching. I don't know the synergy. I've never played pure Perform Mages. I've never seen them played pure. I've only seen them played splashed into Pendulum decks. I imagine this card is probably for pure Perform Mage. I don't know what this actually does. It's just, all I see is it's just attaching and detaching from random spots and attaching other things from random spots to random spots. I don't know how that works, but maybe it's good. Okay, we just lost a coin flip. Our opponent is, we'll wait, we'll see what they're playing. They're setting stuff. I mean, our hand's not bad. They set 3 passed, okay. And, alright, I'll take it. Set 3 pass. Our hand is pretty decent. We have, I don't know what they're playing, but we have Instant Contact and Expendable Die. They're playing a back row deck, which against back row decks, they typically, the strategy has been Time Thief. Time Thief is pretty decent against back row decks. They have no monsters, so this is dead. I think we just go, yeah, I think Time Thief is usually the strategy for back row decks. Expendable Die is not bad, but Time Thief is not a warrior, so it may not come up. But Time Thief, we'll see what we can do here. So we'll summon the Marine Dolphin. Again, I don't know what they're playing, but generally I like to make Time Thief with back row decks. But he also could have just been a regular deck that bricked. So you never do know. I'll make Time Thief. Overlay these two. And then we just go to battle phase. Again, if he has Mirror Forces, cool. If he has Imperms, cool. It doesn't matter. Time Thief just kind of wastes all of those things, which is nice. And yeah, it's pretty nice. So now we just go to battle phase real quick. Yep, we go to battle phase. No need to attach any Moon Mirror Shields. He's got no monsters, so there's no point. So we just attack. And we can just tag out if he's got anything that messes with us. He is playing Eldritch, which is annoying. But it could be helpful for us later. I'm not going to attack over this monster because my goal is to get a trap and then use Time Thief to send it to the top of his deck. So I'm actually not going to continue attacking. Nope, I'm not going to continue the attack. Main phase 2. Right now there's no point to use any of those. I think actually we can set this, and what we do is then we can normal summon and have this live immediately. We can draw and target and destroy immediately. So I will just go to end phase here. Alright, standby phase. We'll activate Time Thief, grab a card off the top of our opponent's deck. And we'll see what we get here. We get a trap card. Nice. So we'll put Chaining on, and what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to activate the Time Thief as soon as possible. Alright, he's going to activate Eldritch, the Golden Lord, send the spell trap card. It's actually perfect that he's doing this now. Hopefully he targets the Time Thief. Yeah, I hope he targets Time Thief. That would be perfect, and not the Unexpected Die. Okay, perfect. So now we can quickly activate this effect. We're going to use actually both of these effects as soon as possible. We'll see if he's got anything in response, but we'll try to use both. He's going to activate Dogmatica Punishment, which does suck for me, but he's going to activate that. Yep, he's going to send Jesus for Dogmatica Punishment. Should have sent something else, but he didn't. I mean, our play would have been really good if that went through, because then we could have put this on the top of his deck, like sent away our own thing. Like, it could have been a really cool play, but unfortunately he did have the Dogmatic Punishment. He could have Dogmatic Punishment us at any point too. Eldritch is a deck that isn't the easiest to play against, but we do have Moon Mirror Shield, so we can't attack over his Eldritch the Golden Lord, if not anything else. We also can steal his Eldritch the Golden Lord out of his graveyard, which is nice. So we'll see what we can do here, and then he's going to do this to set an elixir and do all the extra stuff. So again, we'll see what we can do here. So we'll draw Eternal Galaxy. Really not the time for that right now at all, but we'll normal summon out the Durama dude. This can't be destroyed by card effects right now, so gotta be careful about what we're doing. With a Moon Mirror Shield on the Durama dude, this will allow us to attack over the Eldritch the Golden Lord, because it can be attacked over. And then we do have the autonomous action unit. Now, the problem is he has an elixir, so he can just summon out another one if he wants to, but we can at the very least get over this one, which is nice. It'd be cool if he didn't have access to the elixir, but he does. So we'll attack over him, and we're going to do some extra damage too, because it's 38 defense. So yeah, there it is, 400. And then main phase 2, we hit him with the autonomous action unit to special summon back an Eldritch the Golden Lord out of his graveyard. I think this will force him to potentially activate the, yep, that's exactly what I wanted. That's exactly what I wanted. So this will just basically waste that. And now, unfortunately, our Eternal Galaxy is totally worthless in this situation, but obviously it can be very good in a lot of situations. Now, Eldritch, I'll be honest with you, is kind of a tough matchup always for us, because Eldritch the Golden, Eldritch as a deck is just a really tough matchup. I'll set this just in case, just to like kind of fill out our back row, so hopefully our opponent like destroys it, thinking it's something more important than it actually is. But this is a very tough matchup for us, regardless of what we're playing. It's just a very tough matchup because they have basically infinite grind game, and it's very easily accessible infinite grind game. So we have beat Eldritch in the past, but it hasn't been a ton of times. Trap decks in general are decks we struggle with. Two things in this challenge: it's trap decks and decks that have trap decks that have a ton of protection, and then decks that just have a ton of attack. So like if a deck can summon 3 monsters with a 3000 attack, it doesn't matter how bad it is, we're going to struggle. Obviously trap decks, Trap Trick, Labyrinth, all that stuff, we struggle against that stuff because they can play slow enough to keep up with us, and then outgrind us. And then on top of that, the other thing that I said also is very much a problem. The cards that have a ton of protection, so stuff like Centurion, for example, just has a ton of... Yeah, see, that's a good thing I set that, because he went for this Eternal Galaxy that was doing nothing rather than the cards that are actually doing something. But yeah, cards that have a ton of protection are difficult. Like Centurion cards are very difficult for us to beat. They're going to activate... Yep, they're going to activate that. Again, like, he sent the Eternal Galaxy to the graveyard rather than the Duramo, which is actually doing a ton of negative stuff against him, but he decided to send that instead. Gonna activate Eldritch, add it back, send something. He's gonna send this golden beast dude. Yep, he's gonna summon Eldritch the Golden Lord out. He's gonna go straight to the end phase. Again, he could have outed this if he wanted to, but he just didn't. But he could have. An unexpected expendable die is not a bad card. It's just not doing anything right now. But he could have outed our monster. All you have to do is just send this dude to the graveyard, and I would have just lost this duel. But he did not. A Lightning Storm does nothing in this. Actually, I can Lightning Storm right now, but it's not worth it because then I still have to deal with these two. So I think we just go to battle phase. We can actually Lightning Storm if we want to, though. We'll just attack over him, because he just does damage, do damage from this attack, but not the other attack. Yeah, Lightning Storm, like if I activate this, tribute this gets sent to graveyard, this gets sent to graveyard. We can pop a card like him right here, and then yeah, we pop him. This one, actually I can clear his board out right now, but I don't know if that's probably my best bet in this situation, to clear his board. And then if he just draws a spell trap card, we just lose. And right now, him being dumb is the only reason I'm even in this game. And he just scoops. Okay. He just scoops. Maybe he didn't think he had an out to a Moon Mirror. I don't know. I should not have won this duel, but I did. This is what our opponent was playing. This guy's definitely not the Michael Jordan of Eldritch, but at the same time, this is not a bad deck. Like, I wouldn't be stuck in Platinum 5 if I had this deck. That I can tell you. Because this deck is a pretty good Eldritch deck. This is not a terrible deck. He's got everything. He's got Varudra. He's even got the extra deck filled out. Like, this is not a bad Eldritch deck. It's not a bad build. He shouldn't be this low. Okay, let's open up another Master Pack, which I think will work out. I hope. It's not glowing, but alright, whatever. Not the end of the world. We'll see what we can get here. Bio, Insect Armor is not a bad card for Insect deck. Pendulum, Warlock. I'll take another 2/2. Cybernetic Fusion support. You gotta be kidding me. Give me something new. Ancient Gear Cannon. Sea Koala. Ah, there's something new. Fire King. Avatar. Rangbali. Okay. Works specifically with Fire Kings. So, yeah. When a spell trap card is activated, you negate the activation. Destroy one fire monster on the field. Very specific. Very specific. Can't use that. Alright, let's open up the Legacy tickets. Hopefully we get something useful out of these guys, because I wouldn't say what we pulled was particularly useful today. Okay, we got a lot of super rares. 4 super rares out of 9 Legacy tickets. That's pretty good. Let's see what some of these do. This guy is terrible. Not useful. We've got Leo, the Keeper of the Sacred Tree. Your opponent can't target this card with card effects except during main phase 2. Let's be a little better. And that's not good enough. All Gemini monsters on the field are treated as effect monsters and gain their effects. This is actually the Michael Jordan of Gemini monsters. The problem is, how do you summon him? I don't know. And we're not playing Geminis. So you couldn't pay me to play Geminis. Your opponent can target face-down monsters with card effects. Most of the time, they won't be doing that anyway. Monsters you control that are flip face up while this card's on the field gain 1,500. That's permanent. That's pretty good. If this card and its owner's spawn trap cards are destroyed by an opponent's card effect, target one monster in your graveyard, special summon it face down to defense position. So it's like a monster reborn if your opponent destroys it. So this card isn't horrific in Subterrors if we ever get it all together. But it's not even a Subterror card in name. It's more so it's just generic support for flip effects. So it's not really good enough. And then let me see if any of these are new. So this guy, spawn trap card or chained, inflict 500 to your opponent. We do have a chain burn pile that is potentially brewing in the background of all of this. I don't know if we'll ever actually be able to fully build it, but we have pulled burn cards. Maybe this comes up. If a spell trap card, if any spell trap cards are chained, inflicts 500. I don't know if this guy's continuous. I don't know if this is every time a card is activated. I'm pretty sure he's continuous, but I don't know if it's like, if a card is activated, burn. A card is activated, burn. I don't know. If it is, that's actually not bad. White Knight Queen. Target set card, destroy it. Not good enough. Level sucks. Cannot be special summoned. Terrible card. What does this do? When this card is normal summon, target a level 4 or lower dark monster in graveyard. 0, too specific. Special summon and defense effects are way too specific. Not good enough. Tragedy, not good enough. Another attack gainer. I only need one. It's a brick. Flying Penguin, I guess, is decent with penguins. But this is like an old McDonald's card. And then we've got this lady, which also is not good enough. So, I mean, it's crazy that this card's really good, just not for the stuff we have. This might be the best card we pulled. La, 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 la.